Congratulations, America. We are celebrating 250 years by speed running the exact same collapse that broke the Roman Empire. But hey, at least our career politicians are getting rich off of it. If you want to stop the collapse, stop watching corporate news and start tracking the actual data. Right after this video, I want you to drop a comment below, naming your specific congressional representative and exactly how many years they've been sitting in that chair. Let's map out the lifetime permanence in the comments right now so we can see exactly who needs to be fired first this November. Look closely at the data because we are actively checking every single box on this list. Step 1 and Step 2 are already done. The wealth is concentrated and the political class bought their immunity decades ago. Step 3 is our current reality. The federal bureaucracy exists solely to feed itself. We are currently sitting hard on Step 4. The only thing we have left keeping this entire house of cards from collapsing is the raw power of our military. That means we are exactly one single step away from losing the republic completely. The next major crisis and the hollowed out state shatters. But nobody in Washington wants you to realize that we still hold one mechanical power they cannot touch: the vote. Except we don't even use it. The actual data state of American electorate is pathetic. On average, roughly 40% of eligible Americans completely sit out presidential elections. That is nearly 100 million people opting out. And the midterms is an absolute ghost town. Between 55 and 60% of eligible voters do not show up for midterm elections. We have a massive dormant section of this country that is essentially asleep at the wheel, allowing a tiny, hyper-organized minority of hyper-partisans and corporate donors to pick our rulers for us. We are complaining about a broken machine that we aren't even bothering to operate. Before we use it, we have to clear up the propaganda. We are not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic. Nothing is more historically illiterate than crowds chanting, "This is what democracy looks like." In a pure democracy, you vote on the laws directly. Here, you delegate your power to a professional political class. We cannot call a constitutional convention directly. That little joystick is held strictly by politicians in state capitals. We do not vote for president directly. That is the Electoral College. We hand out our power to politicians who do not listen to us, and honestly, why should they? Under the current rules, they don't have to do that at all, except for one giant engineering mistake they left in the architecture: the House of Representatives. This isn't a partisan issue. Corruption doesn't care about political parties. It grows in comfort. It thrives on longevity. Right now, the data exposes a massive psychological trap we have all fallen for: collective delusion. We look at Congress as a whole and see a pathetic 15% approval ratings and scream the entire institution is corrupt. But when it comes to our own district, we look at the ballot and say, well, our guy's doing a fine job. Let's vote him right back in. That is how you end up with an elite class that enjoys greater than 90% re-election rate despite failing the country at every turn. You hate the machine, but you keep them in power. In reality, it is a disaster. The longer these individuals stay in power, the deeper the roots of corruption grow. Longevity breeds stagnation. It completely chokes out new thoughts, blocks fresh ideas, and freezes the entire republic in place while the rest of the world moves forward. If we systematically fire them every time, the incentive structure flips completely. You work for us, not the donors. Oh, and stop giving them money. They do not need it, but they want to take it from you. They use that to move to their PACs so they can write checks for vacations and anything else their heart desires. Stop giving them your money. If we vote out every single incumbent member of the House, every election, every single time, we shatter the machine. 2-year terms, no career politicians, no decades-long power networks, no cozy relationships with defense contractors or corporate donors, no time to get bought. Do your job, then go home. Oh, and trust me, if we actually do this, the Senate will be shitting a brick alongside the president. Standing guard in front of this entire operation is the corporate media machine. We don't have a free press anymore. Today's media exists to divide you because division is profitable. Anger keeps you clicking, and fear keeps you watching. And nothing prints money faster than teaching you how to hate your neighbor. Every network and website forces you into a corner. They tell you your coworker is the enemy, your family is the enemy, and it's all for corporate ad revenue. 5 massive conglomerates control almost everything you see and hear. Comcast, Fox Corp, Disney, Paramount, and Warner Brothers Discovery. These are billion-dollar corporations protecting billion-dollar interests. They don't make money by calming you down. They make money by keeping you terrified and glued to the screen. Remember when Rodney King said, "Can't we all just get along?" The corporate media's business model answers no, because if you get along, we go broke. Let's not forget our local news is corrupted news. Nexstar, Sinclair, Gray Television, Tigna, and the EW Scripps Company, they are all corporately controlled with their own take on politics and lie to you every day for their revenue. This strategy doesn't stop in Washington. Once we clear out the federal level, we turn to the state capitals and apply the exact same rule. No more 20-year state reps. No more political dynasties. No more playing musical chairs when politicians jump to a new office, the moment that they lose their current one. You want to jump from the state house to Congress? We vote against you. You want to slide into a governor's race after a decade in the legislature? We vote against you. You get one term. Do your job, then go back to being a plumber, a teacher, a nurse, a mechanic, or a small business owner. Go back to living under the exact same laws that you just passed. And here's the beautiful part of the math. Gerrymandering stops working. Politicians can twist the map into whatever mutant partisan shape they want. But if the baseline rule of the electorate is that the incumbent loses automatically, your precious maps become completely useless. Then there is the most insulated institution in the country, the Supreme Court. Lifetime appointments, decades of unchecked influence, zero oversight, and zero consequences. Instead of accountability, we get mega gifts, luxury vacations, and a shadow docket used to steer national policy without public argument. If any other branch operated this way, we would call it a racket. But the political class always hides the solution. The House can impeach Supreme Court justices, and the Senate can remove them. When we enforce a one and done in the House, impeachment stops becoming a weapon of partisan theater, and it becomes an active tool of public accountability. A freshman House, free from long-term political debts, can look at the bench and say, "You accepted gifts. You hid conflicts of interest. You are done." Then we rebuild the bench. We pass statutory laws to expand the pool of judges. We use mandatory rotation from lower federal courts to end lifetime permanence in Washington. And we impose absolute financial transparency. No more billionaire-funded vacations, no more unreviewable power, just service and accountability. If we fix Congress, if we fix the states, and if we clean up the court, we fix the republic. We can finally pass laws written for citizens instead of corporate donors. We can secure programs like Social Security without Washington raiding the fund to finance their pet projects. We can fix a predatory healthcare system where public funds are currently siphoned off by insurance monopolies and corporate middlemen. We can prioritize the American citizen over the lobbyist and stop Congress from trading on stocks while they're in office. Think about what we have wasted. Instead of spending trillions on Iraq and Afghanistan, instead of sending young Americans to die over weapons of mass destruction that never existed, and instead of pouring money into endless overseas conflicts, we could have had it invested directly in our own people, our own infrastructure, our own economic stability. The budget was always there. The machine just chose the military-industrial complex over you. The only peaceful way to break the machine is to eliminate the incentive to stay in power. One term, every office, every level, every time. We execute this systematic voting strategy until the political class realizes the game is over and the machine says, "We quit." And when that day comes, the republic belongs to the people again. Not the donors, not the lobbyists, not the corporations, not the media, and not the elites. The people. Because the vote, the simple, peaceful, constitutional vote, is the one power they cannot take from us, unless we stop using it.